It's week 2. There's $40,000 to be won in Battle Royale. Plus, we have the Dog Bowl. Lots of contests over on Underdog. If you're not signed up, use promo code Davis. Let's have ourselves a week, my friends.
It's Short King Summer, dude. It just feels like no one in fantasy sports ever learns anything. Does he mistime it, or is Brock Bowers just a grown man? Brock Bowers is just a grown man. Dare I say, Rich, football might be back. In the words of Lane Johnson, this offense looks constipated. It's Short King Summer.
All right, GM, everyone. How are we all doing on this wonderful day? I told you guys yesterday on the program, if I was able to get my video done, then I would stream. I said if I don't get it done, it looks like I'm having the old location error over on Underdog Fantasy. Yes, so as long as I got the video done, I was going to be in for this. I got my video done. There it is for you. Fantasy Football Week 2, the truth about every player you care about, that is going to be displaying immediately after this. So the second that I get, oh gosh, this is going to tilt my face off. So basically the second that I get done doing this video, the stream with you fellas and ladies, there's probably a lady somewhere watching this. Maybe Steph is watching. There's going to be a new video up. I mean, look, the second that I am able, I guess I'll just enter on my phone because I don't understand. I've not gotten the location error on Underdog for a Battle Royale in quite some time. There we go. Okay. We're in. Only one active draft, by the way. How weird does that feel? How are we all doing, boys? Are we enjoying fantasy football season? Are we having a good day? Eric says that he has 15% of Chris Rodriguez. He's reporting in. He said he never said Bill was trash. He was just expensive, and he passed for the cheaper option. If C-Rod doesn't get touches in week 2 or 3, I will white flag it and admit the L. That right there, that's a good and honorable man. Is Jordan Mason the James Conner of Kareem Hunt's? I got to be honest, I had the lower on Jordan Mason last night on Underdog. And boys, I thought that I was home free. I did not think that Jordan Mason had a chance in heck of hitting his higher yesterday. And boy, did he show me. Aaron Jones was very ineffective on the ground. Very effective as a pass catcher. Aaron Jones was, but oof. Week 1 in the BR streets went okay. I mean, I had a team that could have won had T. Higgins done anything. If T. Higgins would have scored a touchdown, I think I would have finished top 10 because I had a good bit of way more Daniel Jones than the field did. The field had like no Daniel Jones, and I was drafting a good bit of Daniel Jones. I agree. I have CMC as my clear 101 this week. Are you guys taking Derrick Henry, Jamar Chase, or Christian McCaffrey 101? I've got McCaffrey 101 by a lot. I also honestly don't love taking Barkley. I think it is a bad matchup. I'm going to take Puka Nacua here. I'm definitely going to be lighter on Gibbs this week. Final elim count for me, 79. 79 of 150. There you go. So I will happily take Puka and Barkley. Not that I think Barkley is an absolute jam this week. Wow. The week 1, Brett, you are the week 1 Dog Bowl qualifier. You are, Brett, are you Inglix, or you just know that Inglix is one of the qualifiers? How high can we get on Fannin? Because I have a dynasty offer I don't think I can refuse. I mean, I guess I would accept if someone sent me a first round pick for Fannin. I guess I would accept, but I don't want to. That you're Brett. You should make your username more clear. I did not know that I was speaking to royalty, brother. I was unaware. Yes, Inglix is always in all my rooms. He's a very good player. No, Mookie, there are a lot of ways to play the game. All that matters is first place in the end. Swift hitting the under on 9.1 fantasy points cost me a 5-legger. Yeah, he had 1 billion points. Now the Swift over on receptions, I mean, shit, that was generational. I even got the Jalen Naylor higher than 19.5 yards that I did not deserve at all. I mean, honestly, this is like asking if they want more crack. Of course, I would. Obviously, dude. I'll tell you this: if Worthy is legitimately out for the rest of the year, my Worthy ownership is going to be 100%. Man, so the third round absolutely sucks. That's probably the biggest thing you guys need to know. The third round is just brutal. I don't even really like A-Chain, but whatever. I actually really kind of hate A-Chain. Brett, I hate my job. Can you get me one at UD? Are they hiring, bro? Are they hiring for Numi's job? No, I don't think that Worthy not going on IR yet is a good sign. I don't think it means anything at all. I don't think Worthy knows. I don't think the team knows. I don't think no one knows, because what I was saying this on the Swolecast earlier, but what has to happen is all the swelling has to go down in Worthy's shoulder. And when all the swelling goes down, they're probably going to do more imaging. All right. Could do Purdy, could do Rodgers, could do what is Fields ADP? See, you can't even really get Fields. Let's try it. Let's do Garrett Wilson and we'll try Fields. I will say I feel less locked into what is going to be the winning lineup this Tuesday than I did last Tuesday. I don't really know. I don't really know what to make of that. But like last Tuesday, I thought the avenues were pretty clear. I knew who I wanted. Like it was like, okay, I'm going to play Tyreek. I'm going to play A-Chain. I'm going to play James Conner. And James Conner. James Conner, again, what is he now? Oh, I guess people are hip. Someone in this draft is hip, but he's the running back 12. The issue is it's a terrible quarterback week and it's a terrible tight end week. Yeah, Xavier Worthy can play with a torn labrum. Do you want him playing with a torn labrum? I don't know, man. I don't think so. I don't think as a Xavier Worthy bag holder that you want Xavier Worthy playing with a torn labrum. My guess would be that you do not. Honestly, to me, it is not hard to not click Fanon in every BR. I think Fanon is absolutely sick. What I'm having trouble with is JSN. I don't love JSN at 100% owned. I love Zay Flowers, but I don't love him without Lamar. I don't really want Rodgers with Metcalf. I don't really want Bryce. I've done a lot of, I haven't done that many yet, but I really like Dak and Pickens. I definitely think you can get away with Bo Nix, Sutton. I think everyone is going to way overreact to Bo Nix here against Indianapolis. I am not writing the end of the Bo Nix story. I mean, it's definitely a Mick Gronk week. Yes, very, very clear that it is a Mick Gronk week. Chris, very unclear about Bowers as well, because Pete Carroll is a liar. Pete Carroll is one of the most obfuscating men who have ever coached a National Football League team. Truly. Yes, Jalen Royals is going to be available this week based on what I've understood. The team expected him to be available this week. And actually, Jalen Royals is discussed in the video that's coming out 90 minutes from now that I hope all of you guys watch. Is Fields available? Justin Fields is available, and we are going to click him. So we have Fields, Barkley, Achane, Puka, and Garrett Wilson. Not a particularly unique team. Yes, I would say if you have Bowers, wow, and we are going to get the man, the myth, the legend, Harold Fannin Jr. I would say if you have Brock Bowers, Michael Mayer needs to be the man that you are interested in. And not to do too much shilling, but if you guys play a lot of fantasy football, and I don't know if any of you guys play seasonal fantasy football or not, but I do have written and recorded waiver wire content and stuff like that over at patreon.com/DavisMattic. Not that you fellas, need to feel the need to pay for anything, because I'll always answer questions over here. But if you want that information, well thought out, all that stuff is available. Royals will definitely not be in the Worthy role. No, Hollywood Brown is going to be in the role that they had for Worthy. If anything, Royals has the ability to be in the Rashee Rice role in that offense. All right, first team, Puka, Barkley, Achane, Garrett Wilson, Justin Fields, and Harold Fannin Jr. All right. That was a good team. Not a great team, like literally 0 scrolls, but oh, not the freaking location error, dude. Brett, how do I fix the location error, man? How much fab on Booty if you had London and Worthy? Not very much. Like, Booty is definitely an ad. I'm not going crazy on him because he's the type of guy that I have a hard time seeing how comfortable you feel starting him. Like Kayshon Boutte, not a guy that I'm imagining that you're going to be like, oh, you know who I want to start? That guy. Because he's going to project for like 8.7 points every week. Click URL. Enter. I mean, this is very hard for me. I know. The Dolphins were mega garbage last week, but Tyreek is, goodness gracious, man. 34.5 for Tyreek Hill. Jacoby Myers smashed them last week. Bowers smashed them last week. Trey Tucker got loose for a touchdown last week. Even Jack Besh ran 4 routes and had a 30-yard reception. All right, Trevor, my true answer on this. Am I worried about Matthew Golden? My intellectual answer about that, like if my analyst brain that understands football thinks about these things, the version of myself, that can have a conversation with Ben Gretsch says absolutely not. Literally 0% concern about Matthew Golden. The version of myself that is worried that I'm going to advance 7% of my teams in Best Ball Mania again couldn't be more worried about Matthew Golden. It's like, great, I drafted this guy who sucks, whose only skill is running fast on a team with a good defense and that is not going to throw. But from like a real football perspective, no. My cope brain, my lizard brain is very worried. Tootin is an infinitely better stash option than Ollie Gordon. You know what? I want to do a Lamar team. I'm going to do Lamar and I'm going to do Chase Brown. Shouldn't be too popular of a combo. I mean, Joey, I'm here. I'm here on Tyreek as a bad click. I will have some Tyreek this week, but it'll be like 4% or whatever. I will not be going too hard at all on Tyreek this week, just because I'm so worried about the structural stuff. And once projections come out, Tyreek will look even better. with Falcons in the Sunday game. If you have London and are worried about his availability, how high are you bidding on Ray Ray? Like low, a buck or two. I would maybe even toss a buck on Casey Washington instead. All right, I just don't want to get snapped on Flowers, so I'm taking him here because this team will be useless without Flowers. And then I'm going to take James Conner. Lamar Jackson, Chase Brown, James Conner, Zay Flowers. Beautiful. Yeah, this is really easy. How would you get CMC, Henry Allen? That honestly is pretty easy. You take CMC at 7, you get Henry at 15, and then you take Josh Allen in the middle of the 3rd round. That doesn't even feel like a weird combo at all. I mean, I liked Tyreek as a leverage spot last week. What I said with Tyreek last week was, if he burns me, I'm not going to let him keep burning me. You know, it's like, I'm going to put my hand on the Tyreek stove, and if the Tyreek stove is hot, I'm going to remove my hand from the stove. So to some degree, I'm removing my hand from the stove for Tyreek Hill. Well, many such cases of this, yeah. All your best teams are going to have some hits like that. I mean, JCM hit my lineups a bunch last week. 14.9 underdog points, pretty good. All right, how do we wrap this team up? Am I just taking Fannin again? Lamar Jackson, Chase Brown, James Conner, Zay Flowers. Who do I want as a? Ooh, I could maybe take Judy or Tillman on this team. I think the market is going to overreact to Tillman outproducing Judy last week. All right, let's do the bring back. Let's do a Teteroy McMillan bring back. He's going to project pretty well. And yeah, I'm going to do it. I'm going to take Fannin again. The Fannin bet. Well, the first Run the Sim only has baseline stuff in it, so you should not be checking out I would not be using any of the Run the Sim stuff too close yet, because the baselines have not been updated. All right, we've got Lamar, Chase Brown, James Conner, Zay Flowers, Teteroy McMillan, Harold Fannin. Oh, I'm gonna have so much Fannin, bro. Blind seal, baby. Blind seal. All right. We're entering the URL. Wait, let me do it again. I'm gonna hand type out the URL. underdogfantasy.com. I'm gonna log in. I'm gonna click drafts. Battle Royale. Many such cases. Honestly, I would say that stacking 3 men on your team from one team doesn't seem like that great of an idea, but I would also encourage you to check out Peter, John, and Nez's Underdog DFS Masterclass for more information about that. Because there's a lot of very good data in there. When in the week do the Run the Sims projections get more accurate? I mean, they would be when the actual data goes through. Like Adam and the guys are working through everything right now. So like basically the way, we got a little 101. Give me a little CMC. Basically the way NFL projections work is there is a baseline that players and teams have that is fed in from personal statistics, team level statistics, Vegas stuff. And then, I assume that this is true at ETR. I assume this is true at Stochastic, Roto-Grinders, wherever. Someone has to go in and then start to manually check the algorithmic stuff. Just click it, so highlight and enter versus refreshing. We're going to try one more time. I know what I'll do. I got a different idea. I'm gonna Google Underdog Fantasy, and then I'm gonna go through there. We're gonna log in after I take Christian McCaffrey. Maybe this will work. Yeah, Fannin wearing 44. Honestly, so bearish, but somehow good. Yes, the Underdog Stimmy today was based on your Gladiator rakeback from the regular or from Best Ball Drafts. So I believe it was the first tier was it was like $3,000 to $9,999. Then the next tier was like the next 5,000 or whatever. Wow, Cody Schrader on the Jags. Shout out. Is this the Lions rebound week? Fire up Bears, get the Bears on a short week. I mean, I was very concerned about what I saw from the Lions in week 1, but look at how cheap all their prices are. St. Brown, Laporta, Goff undrafted, J-Mo undrafted, David Montgomery, as Peter said yesterday, didn't even realize he was in the slate. Man, Jay Riddell, my boy Jay Riddell with Derrick Henry and Puka. Pretty fire. All right, I'm gonna do a Jalen Hurts tush pusher. We're gonna draft him naked on this one. And let's do Jackson Smith and Jigba. Scroller's delight, baby. Joey was at the game live. Packers defensive line owned the Detroit offensive line. That would match the eye test. Yes, our Short King Deuce Vaughn did sign with Denver. Surely there's no way that's going to end up being annoying. No, I think it is a good week. Very good week for Jonathan Taylor touchdown bounce back. Yeah. I think Daniel Jones is going to kind of keep the offense on track. I really do. Second lowest individual target rate in a single game for Amon-Ra St. Brown since his rookie season. First with more than 20 rounds. Was nuts. It was crazy to watch. And I don't anticipate that coming back around. Well, I mean, I think we knew the Packers defense was going to be pretty good. Now, obviously, we didn't know Micah Parsons was going to be on it. And, I would say that probably some of the things that we're feeling about that game specifically with the Packers and the Lions, some of those might end up looking silly in a couple weeks. That was a very specific game type. I've not seen any updated projections yet for this week. I don't believe anyone has updated projections out yet. We should see them relatively soon. No, I mean, maybe CMC didn't look great, but I would say I've never cared less about that. CMC has the most elite volume in fantasy football. No one else is close. No running back. I mean, he's just gonna project. Oh, dang, James Conner goes. Okay. Let's do. Oh, let's do Pollard on this one. Tony Pollard, that's a guy who's going to project pretty well. We'll do Tony Pollard. And we scroll. It's funny, we scrolled. So now we can unscroll. Actually, let's take T. Higgins. This should be a weird enough team. 35.7 ADP for Tony Pollard, huh? No, Amon-Ra is definitely not the worst first. I don't think any of the first round picks really look bad to me right now. So Peter and John and Nez did the back testing. J-Mo at 35.8. That means he's basically never drafted. He's drafted like 5% of the time or something. Yeah, no chance this is going to be tilting, right? No chance that I'm going to go back and look at this team and be like, dude, why did you take T. Higgins? Jordan, what are you asking about Pollard? Will the Bowers haters learn their lesson in resurrection? Not if he's injured. Not if he's injured. Now the question on this team is Goddard and Hurts like too correlated? Man, there's some really good scroll tight ends this week. Because like Andrews and Njoku and Kincaid are overdrafted. So you've got Fannin, you've got Henry, you've got Ferguson. Honestly, Loveland even, I think is actually in play. Let's do Goddard on this one. Hurts with Goddard. Hurts, McCaffrey, Pollard, JSN, T. Higgins, and Dallas Goddard. Oh yeah, I mean even because Pollard is not going to get passing game usage the way CMC does. But Caleb Williams drafted him out. No, I'm not sick, Bucky. I have literally the world's worst allergies, dude. Just like a sickening degree of allergies. I can't help it. So I've sounded insane for like 6 straight weeks. No, more like 2 straight weeks. Yeah, dude. Yeah. Oh, this actually is a good point. I mean, Mason Taylor is probably better in the dog bowls, and we definitely will do a dog bowl today. Maybe we do a dog bowl as our final draft today. Probably makes sense. All right, a little 103. Draft number 3 and draft number 4. 12-man streets are probably interesting. Old HV3. What do you know about Harold Varner, bro? Is Harold Varner still on live, or did he get relegated? I remember reading that he played quite poorly. I can't believe Henry. It is crazy to me. This is exploitable, and I love Derrick Henry. You know, I mean, that's actually not true. But man, Henry is the 101 over McCaffrey. I cannot co-sign. Predicting a big JMO week for the Slappies. The Slappies might need it. Man, I hope we get Jackson Dart awful soon, Joey. Jackson Dart ended up being my most drafted quarterback. All right, well, more McCaffrey for me. I vote you rename the Monday Bag Review show the Sadcast. Well, what if it's a good week, brother? You know, we might have ourselves a nice fine time. You don't know. Do I think that Knoll or Higgins gets more run in week 2? If I had to guess, I mean, it feels more likely to me that it would be Knoll because Kirk is out. Oh yeah, Mick Gronk. Yeah, that's nice. McGronk and McCaffrey. Dude, when ETR comes out, by the way, Gronk, McBride is gonna be like the 4th pick. All right, here was the route stuff for the Texans last week. 41% for Higgins, 68% for Hutchinson, 53% for Justin Watson, 38% for Knoll. Honestly, both of them were barely targeted. Probably. I mean, I guess from looking at this, it looks like there's a little bit more on the bone for Higgins. I mean, it's more the value over replacement stuff. Like McBride is going to project for like 13 points, and Kelsey, Laporta, Warren, Andrews are all going to project like dog shit. Burrow has been going undrafted in my BRs today. That feels insane. Well, I can take Kyler on this one. Let's take Kyron again. Kyron is just... The slappies don't have to like it, but Kyron Williams is just going to get between 18 and 24 fantasy points every single week. That's just what he does. And Jacob is going to be mad about it. Oh yeah, the Jacksonville-Cincinnati game that has a total of 50 right now is going to be one of the most disappointing games in fantasy football history. It's going to be awful. Oh, this is a great spot to take AJ Brown. Yes, Kyron is a very eliminator pick. All right, yeah, I am slurping the Dipperino on AJ Brown for sure. Caleb didn't play that bad. You guys are, to some degree, you guys are hating. Caleb did not play that bad. Wasn't great. I wouldn't say his all 22 is the most sterling thing I've ever seen. Wow. Is this a Liam Murphy alt? Fant TD last week was interesting. The missed throw to DJ Moore was pretty tough. Yeah, Justin Jefferson did finally turn up a little bit. Okay. Keon Coleman? Hollywood? You know what? I'll pull the trigger once. There you go. Hollywood Brown. Scroller's delight. If the Bears can script every series, look out. I mean, why can't you? BR went okay. I had a bunch of Daniel Jones, but my best Daniel Jones team had T. Higgins on it. Oh, there you go. Jalen Carter suspended. JMO 5-122. All right. Should I trade McLaurin for Montgomery or Dobbins? Absolutely not. That is terrible. No, Ollie Gordon's going to get his opportunity, brother. All right, now do I take what is my okay, I'm not. This is crazy. I'm going to take Kyler with McGronk. Kyler, CMC, Kyron, AJ Brown, Hollywood Brown, McBride. No one let me freaking draft Mahomes, man. No one let me draft Mahomes. I'm going to. I'm gonna draft a DBQ. I'm not being a coward. I'm gonna draft a couple more BRs first, but Eggers, I promise we are gonna do a DBQ. Oh, the game Carter was ejected in counts for his suspension, so he's not really suspended. If Purdy's out, is Mac Jones draftable? Honestly, he definitely is in the 12-mans. I would say probably not, but I guess quarterback is quite flat this week, so maybe he is. I don't know. I would err on saying no in the 6-mans. I have 6 Noah Fant shares in the Superflex puppy. Stay woke, dude. Not sure I've been that far down the border. I hope Purdy plays. Purdy, one of my most drafted quarterbacks. Loved Purdy. Don't love that the entire San Francisco 49ers organization is turning into a MASH unit. Is Lawrence draft? What is Lawrence's ADP this week in that game? Trevor Lawrence is a much better pick this week than he was last week. I'll tell you that much. We're gonna do a Josh Allen team. I haven't taken Josh Allen yet. Honestly, I am completely unwilling to admit this. Ashton Ginty had an awesome role in week 1. Ooh, I'm gonna do both of them. Trey McBride and Josh Allen doubling up on the elite onesies. Is MVP Rodgers back? Yeah, I don't think so at all. But he was really good last week. He was really good. I believe he was my most drafted quarterback in the Eliminator, Aaron Rodgers. 4 passing touchdowns for him. Some are saying if all you did was draft the Bills and Noah Fant, they're all league winners. I do really like this double elite onesie. This is fun. I mean, I'm giving up so much projection at running back. Like, all the good running backs are gone, and you don't want to take James Conner with Trey McBride. Well, honestly, it actually probably is not that bad. I do not think Igbuka is the wide receiver 1 over Big Mike. There was actually a really cool article about that game-winning play that Emeka Igbuka ran. He called that in the huddle. So Igbuka basically told Baker, dang, Chase Brown went. I'm going to do Jonathan Taylor on this one. So Igbuka in the huddle was basically like, if we run this one, I'm going to be open because the safety is doing this and the cornerback is playing me like this, which is pretty cool. Yes, FanDuel is a big DFS website. I can take Kincaid later if I want. I can take any running back. You know what? I'm doing it. Travis Etienne Jr. Why not? No. I mean, Diggs is going to lead the team in targets while he's on the field. The issue is that the role that Kayshon Boutte plays is like this vertical outside wide receiver, and it's just very hard to consistently earn targets in that role. No, FanDuel not running back the sweat-free millie, although they should. It was a cool idea. From the team chatter, Igbuka is the wide receiver 1 the next 10 seasons. I mean, it's definitely, don't get me wrong, it is heading that way. Swift is my flag plant from RM Covers. And you know he means business because he has the Badge Bros in his YouTube profile picture. Evan's bags are not dead. Although the Buccaneers did not play very well in that game. I mean, they should have they absolutely should have lost. Okay. So the question is, do we take Keon Coleman? What was the Shakir usage like? Man, that is a lot of routes. Shakir probably the more cromulent play this week. I mean, 5th round AJ Brown. This is crazy, dude. A non 100% drafted AJ Brown is pretty wild. Yeah. You know what? Wide receiver 30, undrafted. Now, you know what? That's stupid, Davis. Keon Coleman. Liam has already put it out into the universe. That Keon Coleman is happening. Josh Allen, Jonathan Taylor, Travis Etienne, AJ Brown, Keon Coleman, Trey McBride. I like that one. Slappy White is in the 6th hole. CD Puka, Cook, Hurts, James Conner, Goddard. That's a good team. That team is very good. Maybe scroll a little bit more. James Conner technically is a scroll. Broncos snap count. Cortland Sutton, 100% of routes. Troy Franklin, 65. Mims, 63. Sherfield, 37. Pat Bryant, 5. Got to get your share of those 1,900 yards. Is Sauce Gardner even good? I honestly really have no idea if Sauce Gardner is even good. All right, we're going to do one more BR. It's not going to work. All right, we're going to do one more BR. Then we're going to do the Dog Bowl. So any of you who are trying to get some of that sweet, sweet Matic EV, we're going to do one more BR. And then we are going to do the Dog Bowl. I just remember that Ron Stewart tweeted and said that until Sauce Gardner starts playing good, they're calling him Ahmad Gardner. So I have no idea if he's any good or not. How much fab on Chris Godwin in a 16-team league? That is pretty interesting. 16-team league, honestly, a lot. AJ, give me an idea of how deep your league is. Like, is this 16 teams like super flex? Is this like 16 teams? I would say the chances that there is a better waiver wire guy all year than Chris Godwin in a 16-team league is really low. Single QB, 2 wide receiver, 2 flex. Yeah, I mean, yeah, send 70% of it or whatever. And you can do more if your league has $0 waiver moves. Like if you can add and drop a defense for $0, I would do that. But yeah, I'd send a lot. Like Harold Fannin Jr. isn't available in your league, right? Let's do CeeDee Lamb and Chase Brown on this one. Should I drop Big? No, do not drop Bigsby. A 20-man league? $20-man league sounds insane, Jake. That does not sound very fun. Well, I mean, who scores more fantasy points per game? Harold Fannin Jr. or Chris Godwin when he returns? Khalil Herbert got waived today. Khalil Herbert not even on the Colts anymore. He got waived. This slate really is so much going to come down to how many points do Josh Allen and Lamar Jackson score. Oh, well, I mean, I hope you spend 100% of your fab on Fannin if he's on the waivers. Jake, how are you in a 20-man league and you didn't know to draft him, bro? Jake, I'm a little disappointed in you, King. Ooh. Let's go Connor here. Connor is the new Ramondre Stevenson. And you know what? Flowers without Lamar. Flowers without Lamar. Let's do it. What do I do about Fannin on waivers? I mean, I would have Fannin ranked over Kraft. Is that a hot take? Hot take to draft Fannin or to rank Fannin rest of season over Tucker Kraft? You drafted a higher scoring tight end with my last pick. The Juwan bet. Juwan was a good last round pick. Big Bird took down the $5, the primetime contest on Drafters. Shout out to you, Big Bird. Smashing. Do I give Henry away for Genty and AJ Brown? I would do that. I bet a lot of these other burrows in this chat would say no, but I would absolutely do that. How much fab on Fannin in tight end premium? 80%. How much do you consider or ignore defenses? I mean, this is going to sound annoying, but I really don't consider it at all because I think all that stuff is accounted for in the projections. Like, however good Denver's defense should be accounted for in like whatever the line is. How much is Denver favored by? I haven't even looked yet. Leagues, NFL. Denver is favored only by 2.5. 2.5 is like nothing. Fannin over Strange. This is fine. That might be too much. I don't know if I would go Juwan Johnson over Kraft. Well, Kittle, sadly, RIP, man. We hardly knew ye, George Kittle. Okay, so we're doing Dakota Prescott. Doesn't it feel like Prescott should be more owned than this? Maybe we do a double? Nah, this is going to be the Fannin bet. Dak. Bang. Fannin bet. Bang. Dak Prescott, Chase Brown, James Conner, CeeDee Lamb, Zay Flowers. The Fannin bet. All right. We are going to go hop into a DAWG Bowl qualifier. $25 to enter, 5,208 entrants. The top 3 tickets. Win a spot in the Kansas City Live Final. DBQ, send me. Oh, I have to set rankings too. McCaffrey, Henry. The wide receiver scrolls to me seem better than the running back scrolls this week. All right, what do we need? 6 more for a DAWG Bowl qualifier. All right, how much fab for Fannin? 14-team league, 2 running backs, 2 wide receivers, 1 tight end, 1 flex. 55%. 55%, Monty. Yeah, honestly, I do fear that Fannin is becoming too good for site credit discourse. You're definitely going to be a little concerned if Dylan Gabriel comes in. Thoughts on the Eagles trading for Tank? This rib injury that Will Shipley has just has to be worse than they're letting on. Think that's really it. Isn't that just all there could be? The rib injury has to just be worse than they're saying. Doesn't make any other sense to trade multiple picks. And he is also like a, I guess you could say maybe it's just that they think AJ Dillon stinks. Like, it could just be they don't think AJ Dillon can be their third running back. What is fair for Tyreek? You want to trade him away? Take whatever you can get. My 10-year-old and his friends have a fantasy league that I'm in as the chaperone. I don't know. Is that even fair to get Fannin on your kid's staff? That, to me, Kevin, is scrolling a bit too far to scroll down for RJ Harvey. Maybe you could, I guess, what is RJ Harvey's? RJ Harvey is the running back 24. Would I rather have Harvey or Ken Walker? Ooh. Dylan Sampson, very sneaky in BRs this week. Jalen Warren, pretty sneaky in BRs. Sharps, kind of sneaky. Kareem Hunt, low-key. Don't catch me out of here on Kareem Hunt. What is claimed playback? Are you talking about the rake back you got for entering into best ball contests? Yeah, I think that this was fake too. This idea that the reason that Shipley, the reason that they did the trade because they like Tank as a kick returner. He has like 6 kick returns in his life. Tank Bigsby PFR. So 3 seasons for the Jaguars. Tank Bigsby has how many? 11 kick returns. Did he return kicks in college? I honestly don't remember. He returned 13 kicks in college. Yeah, I'm thinking it's BS. Yes, yeah. If you got money, it is your rake back for participating in best ball contests on Underdog. All right, we are up at the 11 spot. I'm going to take Puka Nacua. There should be a plethora of draftable running backs when I come back around. Oh, my boy Ashcote's in between. So Puka sets me up. I don't really want to take Stafford. So I'll need to be thinking about that. Tell you what, Bo Nix looks pretty good in these contests. And then I'm going to take James Conner. Puka Nacua, James Conner is a pretty hot dog bowl start. Well, what Howie loves to do is Howie loves to trade for guys that people have heard of. That is Howie's man. Here you go. All right. So this is pretty relevant. Quinshon Judkins expected to practice on Wednesday. So I would say don't draft Dylan Sampson in the dog bowl. How about that? I would say avoid drafting Dylan Sampson in the dog bowl. No, Pete was not nervous at all. Yeah, Patrick Barnes YouTube just always bum hunting, dude. Patrick Barnes YouTube bum hunting. Crutches bum hunting. Drap is bum hunting. DAWG is bum hunting. Michael is bum hunting. They're all in here. How much do you need to be fully integrated? Crutches don't lie, bro. You're bum hunting me. Oh no, a 2 down back on the worst team in the league. How will Samson ever survive? Easy to draft Quinshon Judkins on site credit. Is Trey McBride the worst pick in the DAWG Bowl qualifier, or is Trey McBride the best pick in the DAWG Bowl qualifier? Maybe there are updated projections on Run the Sims for me to check. Looks like Adam is in the middle of it, so maybe I can pull it up. Maybe I can pull up the classic slate optimizer. Let's see if this is updated. Last projections update. No. Came out this morning. My thought was he's worse in 12 mans. Well, right now I'm not using projections because I don't have any. I don't think so. I thought James Conner looked fine. Why is everyone scared about James Conner? Friedman has week 2 projections up on Fantasy Life. Where at, bro? DFS, Best Ball, Dynasty, Utilization, Fantasy. Where do I go, Josh? Connor is an insane click over. Well, yeah, probably. Sometimes it is what it is. You know, I'm probably only going to do 3 DAWG Bowls. So I'm going to be a lot less portfolio based drafting DAWG Bowls. Like I want to I want to get to Kansas City my own way. I mean, don't get me wrong, if Trey Benson was on the waivers, I would be happy to pick him up. Man, I should have taken Jonathan Taylor there, actually. Crutches is right. I should have taken Jonathan Taylor there. That was pretty silly. But sometimes a man has to be who he is. I hope Kitchen keeps punting off to me on this Woolcast. What I get? I got James Conner versus Javonte Williams. Hopefully I'm able to just continue to get him on James Conner. Shot Demon here. Cortland Sutton here. Man, running back just gets so barren. Running back is stank. Will I be the Adam Thielen of the DAWG Bowl? I mean, my God, I hope so. All right, I think we're going Cortland Sutton here. Nope, we're not going Cortland Sutton. Oh, tilting. DeAndre Swift, maybe? Man, I'm screwed here. Garrett Wilson. I should not draft these without projections. Drafting these without projections is not ideal. You can kind of get away with it in the 6-mans. It's a lot harder in the 12-mans. Now the question is, if I want Fields probably already went. Fields did literally already go. Fields went all the way at 24. Wow, Javonte Williams goes. Man, DeAndre Swift, the issue with DeAndre Swift is that he's terrible. I'm like actually like pissed. All right. I'm Dipperino slurping. Kenneth Walker. Guy with the worst usage from week 1. Worst usage period from his baseline expectation until I was legitimately flustered right there. That was really hard. DeAndre Swift just the thing about DeAndre Swift is that he just stinks. Not taking Tracy after $89K in a week, Mr. Total 05 touted him as certainly a choice. Well, I don't want to say who I almost took because I think there's a chance he comes back to me. It's probably pretty slim, but I hope he does. Oh. That was honestly, that was probably just like the so bad. Yeah, DeAndre Swift is a unanimous never been good Hall of Famer. So if I want to stack, I either have to do it with my quarterback, or either have to do it with my tight end rather, or take Stafford. Funny, the Dog Bowl is coming to Kansas City. Why not pick someplace maybe warmer? Well, I hope you guys know the real reason. Do you guys want me to tell you the real reason on this stream? No, I'm not going to. I this is actually true. I do know the real reason it's in Kansas City, but I'm not going to say it. I will say it. I'll say it in the Discord later. Swift was the king of garbage time before he hurt his shoulder. Was he? I don't think Taylor Swift is going to be there, but can you imagine? There you go. MU Tiger knows. This is someone who's never been to Kansas City talking. Kansas City is a beautiful, beautiful place. God damn it. And you know what? I should have known that with all these frickin' slaps, there's no way I was going to get Fannin. Frickin' Fannin goes at pick 49. Miserable. I'm having a bad time in the DBQ. I'm having a very, very bad time. No, I am very scared by K9. Yeah, and instead, you know what I get? Instead of taking Harold Fannin Jr., I'm rewarded with Ken Walker. Yeah, turn sucks. I guess the thing is that ADP is a social construct, particularly Tuesday Battle Royale ADP is a social construct. I don't know why I made myself take Ken Walker there. Bad performance by me. Bad rep, Davis. You need to be better. You need to get in the mirror, and you need to think about what you've done, and you need to play better. If we redid best ball drafts right now, Harold Fannin goes where Colston Loveland went. He'd be the tight end 9, 10, or 11. It's probably good to be the only running back drafter in that round, right? It's probably pretty good. I'm an idiot and I feel ashamed. Is it, Chip? Is it? All right, taking Drake May. K-Dub was minus 1 million to make it through 6 slaps. That's true. Why? Why did Ashton just take Hunter Henry right there? Why? What? Okay. I mean, this is the worst draft I've ever done. That is literally the least fun I've ever had doing a draft. There you go. Juwan Johnson, Drake May, James Conner, Ken Walker, Puka Nacua, Garrett Wilson, Juwan Johnson. All right, that was actually so bad. I'm doing another. I mean, that was unbearable. Yeah, this team stinks. May, Connor, Walker, Puka, Garrett Wilson. All right, I'm gonna go. I'm entering into another one. I got to do it on my phone though. All right, we're in there. God. Okay, here we go. Redeem yourself, idiot. Ugh. Unstacked, uncorrelated. Ken Walker. What a mess. What a mess, dude. All right. DAWG Bowl Qualifier. We try again. Sure, Davis. That was one of the drafts of all time. Worst draft yet, as Eli states. All right, we've got Razor 33, 200K, Fast Puppy Champion. We got Inglix is coming back in for his second seat. We've got Tyler Emo Cowboy. We got a Hotsy Sauce. We got Crutches. Just a miserable spot here. But I can't, honestly, I would say I'd have a much harder time imagining this draft being worse. So it'll probably be okay. The sweat is actually unbelievable in here. Yes. You know who oh God. I'm actually just not having a good time in these rooms. Is that true? You have to screenshot the board after because you can't view them after? On your phone or on the computer or both? All right, Barkley goes. I know who I want to take. I don't know if it's any good. But I have a pretty strong feeling the projections are going to like this fella more than they like the guy who's there by ADP. But my instinct after that first draft is that the VORP for the running backs is higher at the top. There's a pretty dramatic drop-off. I'm going to take Chase Brown over Gibbs. Like the drop-off after ETN is huge to the next gap of guys. I can't do these drafts without projections. 5 minutes later, fires on it. Well, I had to redeem myself, Curse. I had to redeem myself. That last one was too brutal. All right, here we go. We've got more Tyreek Hill tweets. Our source confirms Tyreek Hill has requested a trade internally from the Dolphins. The two teams that have reached out with offers are the Pittsburgh Steelers and the Kansas City Chiefs. I mean, I don't think that's true. Because if it was true, I think he'd already be a Chief. I assume somewhere in Power and Light is where it's being held, but I do not know. It's easy to fire dog bowls with no projections on site credit. %50 Pollard sounds about right based on the context of this week. I mean, I just took idiot loser Kenneth Walker, who literally, by the way, is on the face. This is true. I just took Ken Walker in a dog bowl when the thumbnail of my next video has him with the word cry in front of it. Good work, Davis. Good work. Good work believing. Davis said if we get him to 10K subs by the end of the month, he will name his son Slappy or Fannin. You know what? Good point here. I'm actually raking Rakeback today, not site credit. I am indeed. Ooh, damn, Kyron is who I wanted. Chuba Hubbard at 14. No one's gonna tell Razor what to do. James Cook, Breece Hall. Is there any chance Pollard gets back to me? That is the question. Probably very, very light. I honestly don't love Neighbors. Let's do... You know what? Nah, let's do James Cook. Yeah, I was pretty indecisive there. Whatever. How often do they do Rakeback? Well, they do Rakeback for BRs every week. You know what? You do literally get Rakeback on site credit. It's true. Oh, it's where they had the VIP AFC Conference Championship party. If I win anything this week, I'll name my son Fannin for a middle name. I'm a man of my word. The season-long contest, you just get the Rakeback once. Yeah, John, you are 100% correct. ADP, McBride's ADP in the six-mans is absolutely guaranteed to skyrocket. Most obvious thing of all time. Easy to draft James Cook when you draft with Rakeback on site credit. I don't know. James Cook might have been bad there. This dude in the one hole is cooking. CMC, St. Brown, AJ Brown. That is a cook over there. Fields goes. The Fields VORP does not feel good to me, but what do I know? There you go. All right, so Pollard was not going to make it back to me. Although Kamara is still there. Sheesh. All right, well, maybe I don't know anything. There you go, Tyler. Crutches says you're playing bad. Dang, I would have taken T. Higgins. So I could take Burrow naked. Marvin Harrison, who I actually do really like this week. Marvin Harrison's pretty good leverage on all the first-round Trey McBride teams, so I'm going to do that. You might be a slappy. Well, you might be a slappy if you cite Travion Henderson as a reason to not take the big dog. If you've ever drafted Genty and Hampton as your running back 1 and your running back 2, you might be a slappy. If you've ever drafted Jalen Warren and Miles Sanders together, you might be a slappy. If you have even conceived of the thought, the Fannin bet, you might be a slappy. Yeehaw! Alvin Kamara, not a player I'm worried about after week 1. It's so unlikely that Alvin Kamara is going to be a 2 targets per game player. Like, something you have to think about with these week 1 usage things is like, how repeatable is that? Is that something that is likely to be a week-to-week plan of the offense? That just doesn't seem very likely to be a week-to-week plan. I don't think he is, man. I do not think Kamara's dust. Maybe, I mean, I don't know. I've been wrong. I've been wrong about a lot of things. He doesn't need Clint Kubiak, brother. He's got Kellen Moore. This is just not true. Thoughts on the data pointing to unstacked quarterback being optimal? It's just ain't true. Skinny stacks are the most optimal. Now, do I take another? Oh, there is a wide receiver I really want, but I'm just not going to say it out loud. And I will have to actually, 3 guys behind me already have a quarterback. The T. Higgins drafter should not want to take my guy. Gosh darn it. Pickens went. God. Adams is pretty fire. Adams looked good last week. I thought a very interesting thing in reading some of the game recaps and stuff last week, and I don't know if this is true because I don't know anything about anything, but the PFF write-up on Houston, LA said that the Titans were using Stingley and the secondary safety over Devontae Adams. Like they were shading everything Devontae Adams' way. Let me see if I can find this so I can actually provide the correct information. But which I guess they were getting killed by Puka, so it doesn't make a ton of sense. It's true. Zay Flowers was nasty at Boston College. 4th round Drake May, dude. 4th round Drake May, dude. It sounds like Judkins probably will play this week. Throw some of these drafters over the top rope in order to win this. I don't know what that means. Did this dude just do unstacked, uncorrelated Pat Mahomes out of the one hole with DeAndre Swift? Unstacked, uncorrelated Patsy, huh? Interesting strategy. I mean, I would say Samson's upside is definitely limited with Judkins in the lineup, but I don't know. I don't know how much he can't take Hollywood because he doesn't have a tight end. He can't take Hollywood. He doesn't have a tight end. He has CMC, St. Brown, AJ Brown, DeAndre Swift, and Mahomes. He has to take a tight end. And Kelsey's already gone. Kelsey went at 43. I'm about to say bang, so MF and loud. I'm about to say bang, so MF and loud. Because I don't care at all if the McBride drafter took Hurts. So I might get Kyler to come all the way back around. I'm about to say bang, so MF and loud. Harold Fannin Jr., quack, quack. I got 79 of 150. Just the bench. Harold Fannin is not right-wing slappy. In my opinion, best barbecue in Kansas City is Arthur Bryant's on 18th in Brooklyn. I'm about to say quack, So MFing loud. Yeah, Arthur Bryant's on 18th in Brooklyn for me is the best barbecue in the city. Obviously plenty of good places to get barbecue though. You know, it's kind of one of those easy to be 1% better than the field in the eliminator on St. Credit. Yeah, I mean, Oklahoma Joe's is very good. The thing is I didn't go there all that often. Joe's also very expensive, relatively speaking. God, now I'm hungry, man. I wish I could imagine having site credits to Arthur Bryant's. Now, all right, guys, I need your professional opinion. Kyler Murray at like roughly 100% drafted. Wait, Joe Flacco got taken? NF22 took Joe Flacco? Got hoisted by my own petard. I was not ready for that, brother. Holy shit. Okay, I'll take Kyler. I gotta be honest, man. I was not ready for that. Yeah, I'm from a small town in Kansas, but I lived in Kansas City for a long time. All right, this team, I think I redeemed myself. I think we're much closer to good here. Chase Brown, James Cook, Marvin Harrison, Devonta Adams, Harold Fannin Jr., Kyler Murray. I mean, Flacco led the National Football League in dropbacks last week. It's pretty good stat. Pretty good stat. Okay. I think we're done here. Let's hop back in. Chase Brown, James Cook, Marvin Harrison, Devonta Adams, Harold Fannin, Kyler Murray. I will see you guys all in Kansas City. Let's go hop in and do another BR. And then 14 minutes from now, we're going to pop over and we are all going to go watch Fantasy Football Week 2, the truth about every player you care about on the Davis Maddock Fantasy Football channel. I'm a Dolphins fan and already gave up on the team. The Browns struggled to score versus that Bengals defense, and they all still had good fantasy days. I think that should tell you everything you need to know. More like Joe Stacco now. Man, going back to the six mans is it's gonna feel like drafting on easy mode. Yeah, Samson just got 1 billion checkdowns. Checkdowns, very valuable for the game we play. You could make an argument that the game we play is stupid. All right, CMC. Here's my first Henry team. Haven't taken Henry yet. There's my first Henry team. I'm about to bring back with Joe Flacco and Cedric Tillman so hard. The Browns are going to struggle big time versus any better defenses. Well, I mean, the Ravens defense did just give up 41 points. I believe that's technically speaking, the Ravens actually have the worst defense in the NFL, brother. If you go to 2025 NFL team defenses, points against, Baltimore Ravens, worst defense in the NFL. I'm just saying, brother. Joe Flacco against the worst defense in the NFL. I honestly have not started looking too much at Survivor yet. We can look at Survivor here in a second. I don't think I'm in on Gibbs as a first round pick. I think I'm out. I think I'm out on Jay Gibbs as a first round pick. Feels like a spot I would like a little bit of a discount. They're giving me Derrick Henry and Puka in this economy. I just can't believe some of these combos you're able to get. I guess it's because the quarterbacks are going so early this week. You have 2 quarterbacks going early, but it does feel crazy. So survive the NFL season for $25K. My entries. Brian Thomas, Devin A-Chain. Let's do JT here. Best ball brain is a disease. It's true. Feels like the Steelers fall off. I mean, probably. My expectation for the Steelers were quite low. Dude, Baltimore gives up the most points to the quarterback position. Prove it wrong. Statistical truism. MILF. Man, I love Fannin. Yeah, you do have to break yourself of this. Being incapable of thinking week to week because of best ball brain. You gotta log out of that. Derrick Henry, Puka Nacua, Jonathan Taylor. The issue that I have with Puka is that I just hate playing Stafford. So that does kind of limit your constructions to some degree. I don't really want to play Darnold either. Wilson Fields. Tet Bryce. Yeah, we'll do a Wilson Fields. Can't hurt. It's honestly, it's one of the craziest things I've ever experienced in fantasy football that the fan and bet hit literally immediately. The fan and bet just like bang. Just like we're here. It's week 1. Harold Fannin Jr. led the team in touches. It's crazy. Well, Kainoa's dad, it's really a matter of perspective. How many dollars did you end up getting down on best ball altogether? Frankly, I would tell you that's just a matter of perspective. You know, what is $1? Aren't dollars just a social construct? At the end of the day, you know, it's all just ones and zeros on someone else's computer. You feel me? All right. I have to force myself to take someone other than Fannin. I don't really want to, but I'm just going to have 70% of that guy this week. I guess I don't want 2 Ravens. We'll do, is there a bring back? Yeah, I'll do Kincaid. I mean, honestly, at the end of the day, isn't your bank account just like Chase Bank site credit? Isn't your credit card just, you know, Wells Fargo site credit? Honey, the man on the computer just took Kincaid over Fannin. It's world site credit. I'm saying. Someone asked about Survivor. How many of you fellas are in the Survive the NFL season for $25K? What's our stats here? 4 teams took the Dolphins, 4 teams took the Patriots. One team took the Seahawks. One team took the Chiefs. No one took the Cowboys. No one took the Chargers. Bunch of teams with no one picked. Easy to pay your mortgage on SoFi Bank Site Credit. Exactly, Beachhead. We do have a credit-based economy. 50K on the Titans tease with the Cowboys money line. I don't even know what any of that means. Honestly, I understand what a teaser is now, but I didn't know what like a 3-team teaser was for like a decade, and I was just too afraid to ask. Like, people talk about teasers, or like people will say something in the chat. They're like, "Oh yeah, dude, the lines look really ripe for teasers this week," and I never have any idea what that means. Just at like none, literally none. I'm like, yeah, dude, it looks sick. Really good idea for a tease. I do know what a quinella is. And the only reason I know that is because I've done some horse gambling. Like, I've been to the track a couple times. Chase Bank Site Credits is easily one of the best jokes ever. They're saying, I mean, if you really think about it, did anyone have Fanon running a higher route share than Bowers in week 1? LegendaryUpside.com did, I bet. All right, who's the biggest favorite in week 2? Ravens, huge. Cowboys, pretty big. Rams over the Titans. Bills, I just didn't want to use the Bills this early. I'm not taking the 49ers this week. The Dolphins are favored against the Patriots. I mean, you don't have to play the Dolphins, right? Theoretically, there are 32 teams to pick from. You don't have to ever pick the Dolphins. Should you feel good about 89 Tesla BBM teams? I wouldn't. I would say no. I mean, maybe. Vikings. Vikings seems good. Chargers at Raiders. Dude, this is so many people are just going to take the Ravens. The Ravens are going to be big time picked this week. Just looking at this real quick. So the contest doesn't switch to 2 teams, no, but it does do a double week something. There at some point it goes to double picks. Or there's like a Thanksgiving slate, I believe. Oh no, there you go. For week 4 and 13, you'll be required to select 2 teams. There you go. Yes. Thank you for asking, Mr. Nick. New England will beat Miami. The Lions are beating the Bears at Ford Field. Yeah, probably. Yeah, they probably will. Man. No, Keaton Mitchell is not dead. I saw some people talking about this with Keaton Mitchell because Keaton Mitchell was a healthy scratch, and then there was that Harbaugh quote about, it's just numbers. We're not taking Derek off the field for Keaton. We're not taking Justice off the field for Keaton. Rasheen Ali obviously plays special teams. I don't think Keaton is as much of a special teamer, but Keaton is who we thought he was. Keaton Mitchell is the handcuff for the Baltimore Ravens. He's the handcuff for Derrick Henry. Derrick Henry's the oldest starting running back in the NFL. I believe he's actually just the oldest running back in the NFL. And if that's the case, that's valuable. It's the same thing as taking Tyler Algier. The difference between 4.7 projected points for Algier and 4.7 projected points for Algier and 0 projected points for Keaton is de nada. All right, oldest ball carriers in week 1. I don't know why Thielen's showing up here. oldest ball carriers in week 1, Derrick Henry. Isn't that wild? He and Aaron Jones are both 31. Mostert is older, but he's not a starter. Would I say? I know. I say this all the time. Denata means something else. Denata means you're welcome. Sick, Davis. Okay, boys, we're gonna wrap it up here. Reminder: this video, Fantasy Football Week 2, the truth about every player you care about, is premiering in like 30 seconds. So please like that video. Please comment on that video, if you will. And you can like this video or whatever as well. I'll be back with all of you good fellas tomorrow. So make sure you are supporting the channel. If you want to become a member, would appreciate that as well.